seems like politically harmful to Republicans kind of across the board.
Almost seems scripted. Trump comes out yesterday, makes this big statement about leaving abortion to the states. He's really trying to create a tent that enough Republicans can stand under to elect him in November. So he does that yesterday. Today, Arizona comes out after the Biden campaign jumps all over Trump and said states are going to do radical things and Trump is going to be at fault. And then they do this with this 1864 law. It absolutely seems scripted, and Trump is going to get stuck with this time after time after time throughout this campaign.
I agree, he will. And he should, because this is his fault. He wants to brag about killing Roe v. Wade. Well, he now owns the consequences of killing it. And I love the subtle conspiracism of it seems scripted. Trump does this, and then all of a sudden, Republicans, conservatives in a state do something reprehensible when it comes to abortion. Well, I don't think that's how the causality worked. I think that we are now in an era where in any given week, something like this might well happen. And Trump happened to release a video on Truth Social. I think that's the simpler explanation. Google Occam's razor. Hey, I'm glad you're here. Listen, in order for the Damage Report to keep on going, we need viewers like you to become a member on YouTube. Can you click the join button on YouTube today? Thank you. But anyway, that's not even the worst take. Just on Fox, following that ruling, take a look at this.
This will dominate the news for days because they think it'll hurt Donald Trump. Yeah. This issue does not hurt Donald Trump. He's not against abortion. He's actually okay with abortion. He wants that 15-week limit, perfectly reasonable. Here's the key fact to everything. Since the Dobbs decision, abortions are up 10% in America. They had been on the decline for years. Last year, they were up 10%. So obviously...
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't want to see any abortions.
Speaking personally.
But if somebody needs one, if they live in Arizona, it just means they'll have to go to the neighboring state. 154,000 people did that last year. It's not an unreasonable position.
Thank you, pasty-faced whoever that is. I don't care. I'll forget that you existed in about 3 seconds. But thank you for saying that. If you have to drive to another state, who cares? Certainly not me. I don't care. Conservative on Fox News. If you have to try to get a day or 2 days off work to go there, if you have to potentially stay and pay not only for the procedure, but also for housing, if you have to do all of that and make sure that your family will be okay while you're gone, all of that stuff that is a natural consequence of the thing that I am advocating you be forced to do without giving it a second goddamn thought. If you have to do that, that's fine to me because I am a real person to me. You are not. You go try to live, try to have rights, try to have control of your body, but I don't care. This won't hurt Trump. He's just gonna have to try to get elected while people like me are saying things like this. And I am so happy that he holds the positions that he does. I have more thoughts, but Sharon, what do you make of this?
He's boxed in, Trump. I couldn't agree more. You know, when white men get together and talk about women's wombs like they did in the 1800s, I think this is how it looked, okay? Minus the good lighting, and I don't know what was going on there. But it's just ridiculous. And the one thing that I love is, yes, Trump is boxed in to his braggadocious opinions and his I delivered the end of Roe v. Wade. But what I don't think people realize is once these religious zealots, and that's by definition what they are because they're trying to force it upon us, got that carrot. They're not gonna wait on his timing. I think Donald Trump will absolutely ban everything. He doesn't care when he gets in office, if he does. He would gladly give him whatever. It doesn't affect his life, okay? Well, anyway, I could go somewhere else. I won't.
You can speculate.
Right, he'll get what he needs, believe me. But I just think it's lovely. And I think that these people who decide what's best for women's bodies are lying to us. I don't know where you got this 10%. They're up by 10%. How does he know?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and again, it's a right. It was a right for people's entire lives. The idea that you think that should be contingent on some statistics that you pulled out of your ass, I don't understand. I also want to just briefly address his, Trump's, he's not against abortion or whatever. Like, sorry, anonymous mediocre dude. A certain Trump had no problem with abortion. Late 1990s Trump, who was thinking about running for office and was asked very specifically about his position on abortion. And he said that he would not outlaw it in any case. He was asked specifically late term abortion, and he said, no, I would not outlaw late term abortion. He's now, of course, the guy who's saying that they're killing babies after birth or whatever, but that's what he actually believed. And the reason that in the 90s he could believe that it should be illegal in literally every case, to now being the guy who wants to hold the Oval Office and will definitely sign whatever national ban goes before him. If you think that he's vetoing a ban, I need you to wake up, because we're trying to do some politics here, and that's a crazy position to hold. The reason that he can hold those two wildly different positions is, and I know we're not supposed to say this, we're supposed to assert that he's grown over time or he's been influenced by people. It's because he doesn't care either way. It doesn't matter to him. He has no real position on this. If he knocks someone up and they need an abortion, he's gonna drive him to it. Or if he was capable of driving, he'd drive him to it. He'd call him an Uber. He doesn't care. And honestly, briefly, everybody gets to decide for themselves. I think the fact that Roe v. Wade was killed by a guy who doesn't give a damn about it is kind of worse than an actual Christian zealot killing it. It doesn't really matter to your rights either way, but it seems ridiculous. In any event, I want to get your thoughts on this before we move on to some of the short-term political consequences to Arizona.
I think we are forced now to this end game. Whether we wanted to be here or not, we're here. And I do think that Trump is not able, again, to control these religious zealots. So it's time for the people to take back what's theirs. It's time for women to just get out there and say, go away, to any man who wants to put parameters on when one shall or shall not bear child. Thank you, Donald. Finally, perhaps this could be the end of a nightmare.
Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.